Excellent. All right, let's move on to the Hurricanes, the last but not least side in the New Zealand Conference. Harry, significant ins.
Right, so Owen Franks was going to be the big in for them, but he's ruptured his Achilles, so he's gone for the year. Dom Bird, I think, is a big in coming back across from Racing 92. Blake Gibson, Tay Walden picks up a contract again, Baylen Sullivan as well. So they've got some other young talent there that we'll get into, but that's about the big names for them.
Yeah, I mean, significant outs. There's some pretty significant outs here. Naniel Mape, absolute weapon in the centres for them. Vince Arso, again, an absolute weapon at centres or, on the wing channel as well. It's going to be impossible to replace those two. And Vea Fafita's another one. Ricky Riccatelli as well. It was quite a good player. But there is a lot more if we really wanted to roll through more. They're the biggest for mine.
Excellent. Yep. And now let's smash through the best 15. Xavier Nemia, who was awesome towards the end of the season for the Hurricanes. Looking for him actually to really grow this year. Asafoetmore or Dane Coles. Take your pick. Two All Blacks, both very different but incredible players. And the big man Tyrell Lomax to keep that number 3 jersey locked down. I'll just do the locks as well. Dom Bird, old mate Dominic Bird, who's back after the Crusaders. He used to be in a while ago and was overseas. And Scotty Scrafton. So we've got the old man but big wrecking crew here of Dom Bird and Scotty Scrafton. Scotty Scrafton's probably not even that old, but I just feel like he's like an old man. So
he's not.
Anyway, they're both very big units though. Really good at line-outs, so they're really going to deliver some strength in the set piece, which will be good. Nels, do you want to take us through the back row?
Yeah, I'd love to. Devon Flanders, we think is going to hold down that 6 jersey for them this season. Duplessis Karifi at 7. Hopefully we don't see him there all year. He's probably getting a couple cards. It will depend if it's a 20-minute red card or an 80-minute red card. We were talking about that on another pod we were doing. That may dictate how long we see him in this role, and hopefully we get to see Artie Sevilla, meaning we can bring in a few of the other back rowers. But yeah, we've got him at 7, Artie Sevilla at 8, TJ Perenara, we all know him, at 9, and Ruben Love really broke into that squad last year, even though we did sort of see him as, that fullback cover as well.
Yes, and then we've got Peter Umaga Jensen filling the 12 jersey with Billy Proctor on the outside, number 13. And on the wings, you got Salisi Reyes. He should be the specialist left wing. And then you got either Julian Sevilla or Wes Huijsen on the right wing with Geordie Barrett at fullback. Couple of positions that could chop and change. You might see Tay Walden go to 12, push in Peter Umaga Jensen to 13. I think it's the less likely but possible. And Reed Prinsep with Devon Flanders as well will be a bit of a close battle, I think, as well.
We want Flanders, though.
100%.
Love Flanders. Excellent. All right, key questions. And look, no surprises here. Another key question from @Rugby Fixation coming through with the goods. How quickly does Braden Iose come in for Karifi? Braden Iose, very exciting young player. Guys, what do we think?
To finish the question, he did type smirky face.
Sorry.
Okay. It was a smirky face, yeah.
Was it?
He's obviously very excited about Braden Iose. So are we as excited? And basically, can we just get a red card first game, 80-minute red card for Karifi, and he can come straight in? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, it's probably not a bad option. Look, we like the look of Yossi and Sevilla. Obviously, traditionally we'd seen as a 7, shifted back to 8 for cover. I don't think it's going to happen too early. We'd like to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen too early with Karifi playing 7. A lot of the time he's almost got a mortgage on that jersey, I think. So unless they decide they really want to move Sevilla back to 7 when he's been covering 8 for the All Blacks as well, I'm unsure.
I don't think it'll happen, but I hope it does.
We want it's tough to you want Artie picking up the ball off the back of the scrums, don't you? You know what I mean? It's really tough to, particularly in Super Rugby. So that's tough. All right, guys. Harry, how will the rotation between Asafoetmore and Dane Coles play out in 2022?
I think it'll be exactly the same as last year in my eyes, only because Dane Coles ended up as probably the top choice hooker for the All Blacks last year before he was injured as well. So I think it'll be similar. They'll share a lot of time and just have top kind of team. The kind of A team, B team, and they'll play even minutes. But I've got one final question as well. If the Hurricanes can overcome their issues at the 10-12 axis, could they challenge the strongest Kiwi sides? Kagi.
Well, no, not the Crusaders or the Blues. So, yeah, no. Just the Chiefs. Chiefs, yeah. Look, I think the Chiefs, they could, purely based off a Geordie Barrett, Salisi Reasi outside backs. But I know the question is about 10 to 12, but those guys just do it enough on their own.
But it goes Crusaders, Blues, Daylight, Chiefs. So they're not going to compete with those top two. They could compete with the Chiefs, maybe.
That's a good, thorough description of how we all think about it. So, yeah. Any other key questions, guys?
I think that's it.
Excellent. Okay. Let's get into stocks that are rising then. I'll take this one. We got Peter Manga Jensen. He just seems like the logical man to take over at 12. He had some pretty impressive games for the All Blacks. Obviously he's not going to be locked down the All Blacks number 12 jersey with a lot of other people, but it would be hard to see anyone else taking that 12 jersey. And I think, at one point in 2020, he was the 7th ranked centre. So, a lot of potential for fantasy managers this year.
One for me is Asafoetmore. We've touched on it the last few years. Dane Coles is getting older and older, and he still impresses, and he still hangs out on the wing and finishes tries in the corners like he's a 18-year-old winger. But look, I think it's time for Moore to get more game time, and as well as he's done in the past with the minutes he's been getting, if he's getting more minutes, that's brilliant. Despite sharing the time, he was the 3rd ranked hooker on averages last season, and a lot of them are on the bench. So it's pretty impressive. Yeah,
no, that's fair enough. And I think it's interesting with Dane Coles. With Aaron Smith, the type of player who would be okay to sit out and let other players play. Dane Coles is the kind of bloke who probably wants to play every minute of every game. He's not like, no, I want someone else to have a go. I want to play all the time.
Right. And Devon Flanders was our other stocks rising as well. Falling, I had Jamie Booth. Very unlucky, mate. He had his opportunity last year and then had an injury and missed the entire thing. And Smokey is Ruben Love. I don't know if it's a Smokey because we think he'll start, but he's obviously got a little bit of competition around that 10 jersey with, I don't even want to say his name. We'll just call him the lesser Bishop. Other than that, Baylen Sullivan as well. I think there's a bit of a call. I know Rev from the Rugby Fixation Pod was mentioning that he thought he should be fast-tracked into that 13 jersey where there's a bit of a question about who could fit there as well. So he can play wing, did so for the Chiefs last year, and can play outside centre as well, and very talented. Obviously, Zahn Sullivan's brother. So if he gets a start, Kagi will be frothing about him on the podcast.
Very big fan.
I'll throw one more in that maybe we haven't got written down there, but that's Alex Fidel. If he starts getting some minutes in the prop ranks, he is a very, very exciting prop. If you see him starting and you're looking for a prop, he'd be a very early pick for me that week. Round 1, put him in your side.
I've definitely spoken about Fidel every year, and I would love for him to be starting, but I just can't see it over All Black Tyrell Lomax. But I agree. If there are any weeks, pick him.
Yeah.
Let's move on to, I think that rounds out. I mean, look, the last smack you had was Braden Eose, just to make Rev happy as well, that he could be, big news this year.